Hi, I'm Brandon Carter, Marketing Director at Promevo. Promevo is a Google Cloud Premier partner who helps thousands of companies with all their Google Cloud needs, from Workspace to GCP to Chrome OS devices and beyond. Our clients also trust us to help them take advantage of the new world of AI. As a result, our teams work on countless projects, from Gemini AI for Workspace employee education workshops to Gemini Enterprise rollouts to full-on product builds using Vertex AI. And like every organization, we're trying to take advantage of what AI has to offer for our own internal purposes. I'd love to show you one of our most recent Gemini projects, something we call the Quote Catalog. So first, let's talk about the history of Promevo. For years, we've been one of the leading Chrome OS device resellers and service partners in the world. We sell Chromebooks and Chrome licenses and meat kits and all that stuff to thousands of governmental institutions, nonprofits, schools, businesses, you name it. And historically, a lot of that was done through our e-commerce platform, which you can see here in the Wayback Machine from 2021. It's a pretty standard e-commerce site, at least for back then. And even consumers could come in here and buy devices. The problem that we found is most of these companies, particularly our governmental and educational clientele, prefer to quote. They often have boards that need to sign off on these things, or they're just beholden to capturing the lowest price. Also, a lot of them are tax exempt, which changes the nature of the transaction as it relates to the overall price and even things like shipping. So we had the option of replacing our e-commerce platform with another e-commerce platform, perhaps, that was built around quoting. We also had the option of going in and maybe hiring a developer, building something ourselves. But I figured with access to AI tools, I could do a little bit of vibe coding and see if this is something that we could come up with ourselves. So the first thing that I did is came into Google Gemini, which, for those of you that aren't familiar, Gemini is Google's generative AI platform that can help you with all sorts of tasks. You can see from a quick glance at my history, I'm doing everything from traffic analysis to learning how to cook beans to literally building a website. But the first thing that I did is actually reviewed some materials that our experts have put together on the proper way to prompt, which sounds funny, but it really makes a difference when you know what to type in here to get the output that you want. So I did some prompting, which unfortunately I can't show because it's long gone, buried in my history here. But I did some prompting to help validate some of my ideas. And ultimately, Gemini and I came up with what both of us felt like was a pretty good plan, starting with this. So this is a tool in HubSpot, which is our CRM and our content management system, called HubDB. And HubDB allows you to create online content for websites and emails pretty much from the confines of what is essentially a spreadsheet. Our first task was setting this up. And the main part here is getting an export out of our e-commerce platform and then reformatting a ton of this data. Now, there's hundreds of rows in here, so doing it manually could have taken a bunch of time, but that's, again, something that Gemini helped me out with. And I want to give a special nod to Gemini Enterprise, which is Google's multi-platform agentic AI tool that Promevo is more than happy to help you out with. For example, one of the cool things that Gemini Enterprise helped me do is go into these product descriptions and take that data and sort it into these columns for things like, is it a touch screen? What is the screen size? How much RAM is on this device? How much storage? And where it couldn't identify those, it was able to pull that information from the web. So the two tools combined to make this a really efficient, easy process. My next step was to go into Gemini and create a gem. Gems are like more specialized chat instances within Gemini that let you insert permanent context around a topic. That includes uploading files. That includes being able to create sort of a broad prompt, which I can't expand this window, otherwise I would show you. I came into the gem and dropped PDFs about HubDB and the HubSpot CMS, but also Promevo's branding guidelines. And then I came up here to instructions and basically told it, this is what I expect from you. So instead of having to set that context on every prompt, the context of what its goal is, how it behaves, what it should know is built within the gem itself. You don't have to put that into every prompt. Once I had my HubDB Guru Gem set up, it was really just a matter of going in and having a conversation with the gem itself. Over the course of a few weeks, maybe a couple hours per day, I told it what I wanted, and it would populate that and explain how to set that up within HubSpot. And then it was iteration. This is the ultimate output. This is what we're calling our quote catalogs. Instead of a full-on e-commerce solution that allows someone to go in and complete a transaction on their own, this gives our clients what they're looking for the most, which is the ability to find items and create a quote for our team. This is what ultimately came about from all of those conversations and all of that work that Gemini put in. The first element here is a quote catalog, and this is surfacing all of those HubDB lines. And you can see where it pulls in pictures, pulls in SKUs, names, and from here, you can click in and get more information. Every line on that HubDB creates another page. One of the cool things that it did that would have taken me a long time to code if I had tried to do this manually is if a listing only has one picture, then it only shows one picture. But if a listing has multiple pictures associated with it, then it will generate a little gallery down here. This is the primary product page. It keeps it consistent. It looks like the rest of Promevo because, again, our brand standards are part of that gem. The other elements that we needed to add were the actual quote engine. And you can see that here, if I click add to quote, a little pop-up comes up and I can add however many I want. Let's add 10. When I click add to quote, it confirms it here, and then it says view quote. I can continue to browse around and add items if I want. I could even come back here to the main catalog page, add items from here. If I want to add 10 of these, now I have 20 items, and you can see where it actually increments things. Gemini helped us build in filters for category and manufacturer, but also a plain text search here, which is all super helpful for our users. This cart was maybe the main element that we worked on. And whenever someone is ready to submit their quote, they can hit view quote, and it summarizes what they added here. And you can either change those quantities, or you could even remove an item entirely. So obviously this page was generated with Gemini AI code, as well as just the idea of how do we submit a quote. And then the final element that Gemini helped me build is this page right here, which is a confirmation of the quote. So right now what's happening behind the scenes is our Chrome team is going to receive a notification that someone on the site has requested a quote. It's going to have these specific items in that request. And from there, they're going to take it and contact our distributors and get the order submitted. They're going to create an actual quote that our client can then take back to their board or their manager, whoever, and get approval for it. And then once they sign that quote, the order goes through just like normal. So really what we've done is eliminated all of the complexity that's involved with an e-commerce platform and created something that gets down to what our users really care about, which is the ability to easily browse and identify things that they need, add them to a quote, and then get the absolute best price on that quote. And that's pretty much it. You can go to shop.promevo.com yourself and check it out. We're already using Gemini to add new functionality in there. For example, last week we added in some advanced filtering options, and we're continuing to improve on it. So go and check it out for yourself. And if you're interested in building something with AI or learning how to use it, or more importantly, helping your employees and your organization learn how to use it, reach out to us at promevo.com.